The 2000s, when memes like this were hilarious, and Soulja Boy himself was just beginning to crank that. If you grew up or even just existed during the 2000s, there's one self-evident truth that is most likely applicable to you. At some point, in some expanse of time, somewhere on this planet, you interacted with or played a Wii. If you didn't, you were either most likely comatose or retarded. But what made the Wii so special? Why did every white family in America have one? Was it the all-new motion controls or its accessible and casual appeal? Maybe it was the more affordable price as compared to its expensive counterparts. Personally, I think it was the games, because goddamn, there were some good-ass games. You've got two of the best platformers of all time, some great action-adventure games, your obligatory Smash game, and some real sports games, and of course, the Wii's best game, Major Minor's Majestic March.
Finally, I got everyone marching in line. God damn, that took... Monkey? No. Monkey. Listen, no. Fuck you, monkey. Fuck you. Oh my god, this is taking forever. What are you talking about? I'm literally holding the controller straight. Thank you. Don't say it. Oh my god, fuck you.
Oh, and I guess there was Mario Kart too. As you probably couldn't tell from my pointless minute-and-a-half intro, Mario Kart was my favorite game that I played in the Wii. I can still remember days where I'd wake up at 6 a.m., run downstairs, boot up the Wii, and just play Mario Kart for hours at a time. I would do Grand Prix, time trials, balloon battles, coin runners, split screen with my brothers, and even online races, where I'd get absolutely fucked by every player with like 17 stars and goddamn moon runes in their usernames. Even as I got new games, I always seemed to come back to Mario Kart, whether it was to race against my friends in versus mode or beat my best times in time trials. But what about Mario Kart kept me coming back? What made me want to keep playing it over and over again? Well, I believe there were a multitude of reasons. First of all, the game is just plain fun. I mean, just look at this. You almost never slow down, there's a million things going on around you, the tracks are beautifully designed and interesting, and the control you have of your vehicle allows you to feel as if you're getting better each time you play. One moment you could be cruising through the meadows with a couple of friendly cows crossing and no items within sight. And the next moment you're fucking flying through a death field of lava while the ground crumbles beneath you and blue shells explode at every turn and there's meteors and shit and I'm just freaking... Mario Kart Wii was able to drag you in with all the bright colors, speedy gameplay, and fun items. But it was able to keep you because there was always room to improve. That time you got could be beaten. The person you just raced has an older brother who's even better. You could collect even more coins in that coin runner game. No matter what it was, there was never a limit on how much better you could become, and it kept the game fun and interesting long after its initial release. But of course, Mario Kart wouldn't have been as fun as it was without friends to enjoy it with. And while every version of Mario Kart has had some form of multiplayer or another, Mario Kart Wii was one of the most accessible for new players. I mean, it's really not that hard. You put a Wiimote in a wheel, and you're set. Kids could play it, adults could play it, moms, dads, brothers, sisters, cousins, old Grandpa Johnson while he's having flashbacks from Nam. Even dogs could play! Of course, some players are better than others and would fly past the competition without a second thought, but that doesn't mean the game wasn't enjoyable for the rest of the racers. Mario Kart has never been a game based purely upon skill, and you could probably finish pretty close to the front just by using items the game gives you while you're in last. Of course, if you're having a great race, this can also mean you occasionally get fucked over. But this isn't necessarily a bad thing, because say you're playing with that guy, even though he may win 9 out of 10 races, there will always be that one race where the items fall in your favor, and he gets absolutely cucked. And that moment, that's what Mario Kart's all about. Now, while Mario Kart was a very visual game, I would be remiss to forget the soundtrack. It might not have been the best music that I've ever heard, but holy fuck, was it catchy. Every track had its own personalized anthem that was subconsciously engraved into your mind as you played. Even if you haven't listened to the songs by themselves, which I might have done, if you've played the game enough, you can almost immediately tell which songs belong with which tracks. And of course, not every song is great, but the ones that are fucking bangers! Not only did Mario Kart Wii have great music playing while you raced, but there wasn't one moment in this game where you weren't hearing some sort of tune or jingle. Are you on the main menu? We got you. Did you just finish the game? We got you. Are you arguing with your brothers over who gets to pick the next course? Again, got you. Did you lose your disc? We still got you. And just as Mario Kart wasn't lacking in music, it wasn't lacking in glitches either. Now, these weren't the boring break-your-game glitches, but rather the holy shit, this couldn't have been intentional but works out surprisingly well and increases the longevity and depth of the game glitches. The system in place to keep the tracks functioning was just broken enough to allow the players the perfect amount of freedom to find shortcuts and small quirks in the tracks, but not too broken that it ruined the experience for everyone else. Most of the time. It wasn't SNES hop against the wall and complete all your laps broken, but it wasn't Mario Kart 8 latitude grabs you no matter where you go off the track safe. I used to spend hours doing time trials on single tracks, attempting to do the secret shortcuts that I'd seen the world record holders do. It was exciting to feel like you were breaking the game, like you knew something that all your friends didn't. Something that, sadly, I don't think we'll see much of in the future, as modern games have much more advanced boundary systems and teams of programmers ready to patch glitches at a moment's notice. And finally, the community. As it is with most Nintendo games, the members that made up the community were overall nice and welcoming people. Forums for time trials, racing clans, fun Easter eggs, and just general discussion between fans sprung up and flourished as the game grew. But eventually, as all games do, Mario Kart Wii began to fade into the past. And on May 20th, 2014, Nintendo WFC was disconnected, and many thought it was the end of Mario Kart. But it wasn't. See, the thing about the Mario Kart Wii fanbase is that they're truly committed to this game. They refuse to let Mario Kart die, and to this day, through various programs and softwares, they keep the servers running with new tracks and new modes being added frequently. I mean, you still have YouTube channels dedicated almost solely to Mario Kart Wii, pulling in tens of thousands of views every video. The community loves this game, and they aren't about to see it die just yet. If I'm ever hanging out with a friend and I'm lucky enough to find a Wii hiding in the back of their TV cabinet, it's almost guaranteed to have a Mario Kart disc nearby. This game has provided countless hours of fun to millions of people, and its legacy lives on even today. There might not ever be a game quite like Mario Kart Wii again, but at least we have the privilege to know that we got to experience it as one of the defining games of the Wii and the 2000s in general.